Have you ever looked back and thought, man, I missed that moment? What if the opportunity you've been praying for is already right in front of you? Would you recognize it? See, those are questions we must ask, and those are moments many of us actually, I know I have. But tell me about you. Have you ever experienced those moments where you feel like you missed it? The moment you're in right now, can you tell whether or not this is the one you've been praying about? Several years ago, I had just graduated college. I took a 2-year course to get my associates because some of the places that I wanted to apply to needed what I call the paperwork in order to even take your application and resume seriously. And so I took a 2-year course, enjoyed myself, learned a few things, and then when my father asked me what I wanted to do, I told him I wanted to get in real estate. And so sometime after that, an investor, somebody I knew, an investor approached me, and they asked, Darius, what are you into? What's going on? I said, well, I'm looking to get in real estate, and I'm fixing to do this, I'm fixing to do that, right? And so he actually offered to help me out with my first property, and he was going to start me off with $10,000. Yep, $10,000. Do you know what I did with that? I started looking for rental property, and I found one. That met some of my criteria. Of course, you'd have to go through all the steps, the negotiations, of course, get the property inspected and all of that. But somebody else I found out had beat me to it. Then I let that opportunity go, and I never picked it back up again, at least for a while. I didn't say never. I said never. I let that opportunity go, and it's like I just faded into the sunset or something. That was my first opportunity. Then probably within a 2 to 3 year window, there was same investor gave me another opportunity. This time, and mind you, I had not even shown that I was capable or not capable, but I hadn't even shown any results yet. But this person believed in me, and he offered me. He said, Darius, if you find me a property, I will put. This time, this is what he said. I'll put $25,000 down. I'm like, wow. But I don't understand my mentality when I look back on it. And this was, this is actually probably about 12, 13 years ago. I was like, as excited as I thought I would have been. When I look back, I wasn't as excited as I thought I should have been. And guess what? I started again, but I didn't finish. Matter of fact, it seemed to me when I look back on it that I was less motivated than I was the first time. I don't know if it was because I was afraid or because I didn't want to go do the legwork. It was too hard. But it was psychological. It wasn't due to a lack of knowledge. It wasn't due to a lack of, at least at one time, a drive per se. But when I look back on it, I'm like, I'm not going to let that happen again. I had missed an opportunity. I missed 2 opportunities. Those are just 2 I'm mentioning right now. Maximizing the moment, because that's what we're talking about today. Maximizing the moment. How do I maximize this present moment? The place I'm in right now. The place I'm actually physically occupying right now. How do I do that? Maximizing the moment is not about luck. It's about 3 things. Write these down. And this is something I'm still learning as well, but it's very powerful. These are very powerful principles that a lot of successful people, it doesn't matter what industry, it doesn't matter if it's dealing with relationships, finances, business, getting a new job. It doesn't matter. These principles work in every area. These 3 things. These are not the only 3 things, but these are 3 things. Number 1, it's about awareness. It's about Number 2 is about preparation, and number 3 is about action. So, let's learn about recognizing the moment, the power of the present moment. Type in the comments, the present moment, right? Type that in there. The present moments. You can put it in all caps if you want to. I don't care. Just the present moment. Let me ask you this: how many moments have you let slip by simply slip by simply because you weren't paying attention? You get into a car wreck because you took your eyes off the street or right in front of you, and you get into a car wreck. It's not the driver's fault in front of you. It's not the fault the fault of the phone ringing. It's whose fault? Say me. Come on, say me. It's my fault. That's right. You have to understand where you are at that particular time. Can you multitask, especially if you've been driving for years? Oh, of course you can multitask, but you still have to do this. Follow the exact same what principles. Type principles in the chat. Principles. You have to follow the same principles or the same instructions you did when you first learned how to drive. You have to keep your eyes on the road. Matter of fact, one of the things they teach us to do, they taught us to do, I don't know if they still do it now, is you have to drive not only for yourself, you have to drive for others. I would venture to say that in life, you have to actually plan your life, live your life with others in mind. And again, I'm talking in terms of driving. You have to pay attention not only to what's around you, but around others too. I mean, these principles are absolutely very awesome. So if we pay attention, if we stay aware of where we are right now, less accidents take place. Less, I didn't say, or fewer accidents take place, but also fewer opportunities get missed. So let's focus on paying attention to the opportunities hidden in everyday situations. You know, my dad teaches, and he's my anchor. Okay, I'm just calling it what it is. My dad has been. First of all, I thank God for both of my parents. I still have both of them. I'm blessed like that. And those of you who don't, I pray God's blessing in your lives. Either you don't have one parent or you don't have both. But I am blessed. I have both of my parents, and my father's my anchor. He has taught me a lot and still to this day teaches me a lot. I'm 46 years young. You never get too old to learn. But the moment you stop learning, that's when you really start dying. And so he's taught me a lot of principles. And some of these principles is what my lesson is about. It's awareness. We have to understand where we are right now and make the best of every opportunity. My dad says this. He says, when preparation meets opportunity, success occurs. What occurs? Help me out, everybody. When preparation meets opportunity, what occurs? Say it with me. Success occurs. Listen, if you're not prepared for success, if you're not prepared for the moment, if you're not prepared for the opportunity, it's still coming anyway. And you're likely to what? Miss it. So let's pay attention to everyday opportunities that's hidden right in front of us. Here's another exercise. I said another, but this is an exercise you can actually develop. Develop the habit of asking, what opportunity is right in front of me? Because when you open your mind up to see from a creative or solution type of worldview or type of mindset, everything changes. That's one of the things my dad is teaching me also. He's been teaching us. He's a pastor. But it's teaching. When you actually look and say, oh, for example, anybody in financial debt, you can say me. If you don't mind, let's talk about finances. You in financial debt, say me. Me. All right, thank you. Now, if you're in financial debt, instead of saying, how did I get into it? Or I was dumb. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have bought this. I shouldn't have bought that. Or let somebody else call you out your name. Why don't you ask yourself this question? How can I get out of this? What's the best solution to get out of this situation? See, once you start being creative minded or solution minded, now you begin to, that's that word awareness again. Now you begin to open yourself up to those ideas. Every idea may not be for you, but you can be able to, you may have one that may work for your situation, or you may have multiple solutions come to you where you can combine them. And that could be a workable solution for you. I'm telling you, this stuff works. When I'm working on I'm actually treating this like a game. I heard that's what the rich folks do. I'm treating solving some of these problems really like a game, because now you get to have fun. Now you get to think creatively like you did when you were a child. By the way, I do believe that we need to go back to not childishness, but childlikeness. Children are creative. Adults teach them not to be, because it's not the real world. I disagree with that 100%. I was sharing that with some coworkers of mine not too long ago. I said, I think we need to really get back to our creative side as children, or the mindset, the likeness of children, where we were creative, because that's when life was much more fun. Man, I sat down. I would get my little toy cars, and I'd be driving up down the street. I have my drawer. My drawer is a part of my house, or my in a business or building. Then you had the floor was the street, and we would drive. We'd be speeding. There was never no cops around, by the way. Or if there were cops, we always sped and lost them or something. I remember getting. I remember when I was a little kid. My brother, who's next to me in age, and our sister. Um, I remember growing up watching all these movies or TV shows with rich people, and how what they would do is give their cash to the kids and tell them, "Listen, go buy a house or something, go buy a car or something, leave me alone." As that's what I would do. That's what I would act out when I saw my kids, because my parents never put those limitations on us, and so our imagination ran awesome. I ain't gonna say wild, but our imagination was big, and so I know I allowed um, grown up life, the real world, to actually influence my creative thinking. And over the past couple of years, I've been going through some changes, or like I'm going to call it transformation, because my coach, my father, and I have been coached by others. So I believe in the coaching, the necessity of having a good coach. And so anyway, right now with my dad, and we're on a 40-day journey. But over my personal transformation more and more over the last really started occurring over the last 2 years. And so anyway, growing up, my mind was open to creative ideas. And then I said, you know what? Months ago, I said, why am I not doing this anymore? I remember having fun. I thought freely. See, those are valuable moments. Those are moments that awareness is very important. See, children were not aware of limitations and lack. Therefore, they didn't, at least in my household, we didn't act like it. We didn't think like it. We didn't act like it because we weren't taught that. But maybe you have. Can you identify with that? Can you identify with growing up in a household full of limitations? Or did you grow up in a house where you didn't have any limitations? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. I want to know some of your stories, so please share. Let me know. Maybe we can talk about it in another video a little bit. I can talk about some of your stories, or excuse me, some of your stories. But this, even think about it right now. I feel like a kid again, because now I'm free, and that's what I want you to be, is free. So remember, seize this moment, like right now. Don't be distracted with other things, unless you're at work and you're listening. That's different. But if you can control this moment fully, take this moment. I hope you're getting value out of this video. If you are, please share it with somebody else, by the way. Share it with someone else, like, and continue to comment. So let's develop the habit of asking questions. Not questions that lock you up, not questions that limit your ability to think creatively, but actually unleashes it. So here's your action step, because there's 4 points I want to make today. Okay, I told you about the 3 things that Maximize the Moment would do for you, which is awareness, preparation, and action. But there are 4 points I want to make, as I told you in the title of the video. There are 4 points I want you to get. Yes, I'm repeating that because I've been learning about the power of repetition. We've been repetitiously negative. Why not be repetitiously positive, right? Go put your thumbs up if you agree with me. Put your thumbs up in the chat, okay? So here's the first action step. Practice moment awareness, not just every week, not just every month, not just once a year. Practice moment awareness every day. Pause and ask yourself, what's available to me right now? Even right now. Now, don't do it while you're watching this video, unless actually, obviously you're going to be watching on record right now. But anyway, ask yourself, what's available to me now? If you have a problem, which most of us do, I didn't say if you are trapped by your problem. If you have the problem, start asking solution-based questions. Let me know what you come up with. So let's go on to point number 2. That was point number 1. Point number 1 was this. I'll repeat it for you. Recognize the power of the moment or the power of the present. Okay. Now, point number 2, prepare for the moment before it comes. Again, one of the principles my father taught is when preparation meets opportunity, success occurs. And since preparation, since opportunities is on its way regardless if you're prepared or not, why not choose to be prepared so that you can birth success? What's one decision? Let me ask you this question. What if one decision today could change everything? And are you ready to take it? For example, let's stick with the financials. Now, if you have something totally different that's not financial based, you can still apply the same principle. You can still apply the same question. If someone offered you $10, do you know what to do with it? I'm talking about responsibly. I'm talking about creatively. If someone offered you $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 right now, are you prepared for it? See, I could think of some things. See, I told y'all earlier, I made a mistake of not being prepared for the 10,000. I started, but I didn't finish. Then I was given another opportunity for $25,000. See, this is how I calculate some things. If I can go back 12, 13 years, let's just go and round up to 12 because that's one of my favorite numbers. Let's just say in real estate, when the interest rates were lower at that time, and some of the people I do know who is in the game of real estate, the business of real estate investment, let's say I could have purchased one home a year for the last 12 years. That's what? 12 homes. And let's say there was an investment needed overall of $50,000. Let's say I did good with the $10,000 and $25,000, and somehow I managed to get enough. Let's say I purchased a property at $50,000, and I could have sold it for, let's just say, playing with the numbers, let's just say I could have sold it for double, or even kept it. Property at $50,000, and I could have raised its value, increased its value after doing repairs and things like that. That's $50,000 a year. For what? How long? For the last 12 years. Which means, if you're looking at it, how much is that? Come on, help me out. 50 times 10 is what? 500,000. You add another 50 at 600,000. 5 times 12 is 60. $600,000 wealthier I could have been by now. Minimum. If I purchased one property a year, and let's again just say I bought them at $50,000 each, increased their value double, so it's worth over 100. It's worth $100,000. My personal financial value, my assets, would have been worth at least $600,000. So I have missed out on, at minimum, $600,000 over the last 12 years. How would you feel about that if you actually sit down and count up the cost? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Now, you can let that depress you, or you can let that become not a stumbling block, but a stepping stone to the next step in your elevation. Like I told you, I'm on a transformation journey right now, 40 days, right? I'm becoming a better person, a better version of myself. By the end of these 40 days, I expect to be a better version of myself than the one you're watching or listening to right now. So, since those moments came and left, is it possible I'm going to be given another opportunity like that? It could be in real estate. It could be something else. The answer is yes, because in today's world especially, plenty of opportunities abound. Do you think that way? Do you really believe for yourself that another opportunity is coming? Say yes. Come on, say yes. Type it in the chat. Say yes. Put some thumbs up. Yes, I believe I have some more opportunities that's going to come. And now here's the next question. Will you be ready for it? Now, I don't want you to say yes yet. Why? I don't want you to get emotional. I want you to really think about this. Then come back to the video if you need to. Now, if yes is your answer, then go and type it in the comments for me. But if you need to actually think about it, please do. Because sometimes we get emotionally excited, emotionally wound up and ready to go. but that emotion fizzles out and you back at square one. So no, let's not do that to ourselves. Listen, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. See, what preparation meets opportunity, what? Say it with me, y'all. Success occurs. The opposite of that must be true too then. Well, there's a failure of preparation, and yet there's the opportunity showing up. Success doesn't occur, but failure does. Or actually, I've reframed that word. I learned that word last year. I've reframed that to be a lesson has occurred. Now, you can still learn from your failures and successes, but I've renamed and reframed the failures I've had so that I can have a more positive outlook on it. So, when lack of preparation or not enough preparation meets opportunity, the level of your success falls. Not rises, falls. Here's another thought for you. Let me see. Okay. Here's an action step for you. I'm sorry. I have my notes here. This is why I have my notes here so I can stay on point. Here's another action step I want to give you. Identify one skill or habit to sharpen right now so that you are ready when that moment occurs, when that moment arrives. That's what I'm working on. That is listen, I'm telling y'all, I know this stuff works. Let me tell y'all why I know this works. Because I know the principles of success work because I've done both. I've actually succeeded in some areas of my life, not to the level I've wanted to yet, but I failed. I'm absolutely excited. This is why I started this channel. This is why I have I'm working on an awesome coaching program. It's because I know this stuff works. If you work the principles, they always work, which also means if you don't work them, they always work. This is why I'm excited about it. This is why I'm excited for you. If you are excited about your potential success, go ahead and type it in chat. I'm excited. Say it again with me. I'm excited. One more time, y'all. I'm excited. Why? Because you are in the driver's seat. Life is choice driven. And so you have chosen. Thank y'all. First of all, I want to say this. Thank you for tuning in. Because you've chosen to listen to something. You know, we talk about moments. We talk about seizing the opportunities, right? We talk about maximizing the moment. Well, you have probably watching me for the first time, watching this particular video for the very first time. This might have been the opportunity you have been looking for. You might have needed to listen to tune in at whatever time you tuned into this video and you sat down and you listened. You're probably tired. You're worn out. You've had a long day. You've had a rough week. You've had a rough beginning of the year. What have you? And then this video pops up. Somebody may have recommended it. YouTube may have recommended it. You came across it. Whatever. And you're listening to these words and you feel like there's a connection, that this is the spark that you needed. If this video is for you, type in the comments and say, this is for me. Come on, say it with me. This is for me. This is what I'm excited about. I'm excited for you. We may not even meet on this side of eternity, but I'm excited for you. Hopefully I will get to meet you because this is for you. I just created this. I came up with this because I know how it feels to miss opportunities. I know what it's like to have opportunities be offered to me, but I wasn't prepared. Sometimes it's not physical preparation. Sometimes you have the physical skill sets. You are available, but up here mentally you're not ready for it. Mentally, you don't rise to the occasion or challenge. Even though you can, you don't. For whatever the reason may be. Maybe you have failed many times in this space. You've been trying to start a business or get into a successful relationship or have children. I don't know what your motivation is or what goal that you have set up or vision you have, but many of us can identify with procrastination, for example. Many of us can identify with not recognizing that today could be the day when my life changes for the best. Some of us expect it to change for the worst, but why not for the best? Why do Mondays have to be blue? Why do people say Mondays are blue? Why not make it green? Why not call Monday Monday Day? See, the way you see things is entirely up to you. You can actually, you're powerful, okay? Anyway, y'all get my point. Identify one skill or habit to sharpen right now. When? Type it in the comments, type it in the chat now, not later. Unless you're in a situation you can't write, you probably listen to this when you're driving or doing some type of activity. But if you can, or when you can, come back and write it down. When do you need to look at a certain skill so that you can change it? Right now. Because that's the only time you physically occupy. Why? So that you can practice being prepared and ready to go when that opportunity comes. Let's go ahead and go to point number 3. Take bold action in a moment. Now, this is the one I was telling you about. This changes everything. If you already know what to do, and many of you probably watching this, if you've lived long enough, already have known what you needed to do, but you didn't do it. You have probably already recognized this was the right moment, but you shriveled away in fear. Somebody probably told you. Somebody in your life set you up for victory, set you up for success, set you up for this opportunity, that opportunity, set you up for this, and you learned a lesson. Or I like to call it, you created a lesson to learn from. So you are very good at identifying moments. You're very good at, you're naturally talented and skilled, but your mindset ain't there yet. Or you've been praying for a moment like this, and you're like, you know what? Next time, God, I promise, next time, give me another shot. Give me another shot. You know, you may have asked your parents or your friend or this particular job, your boss on your job, or maybe you're in partnership with the right, and I do mean right business partner, because every business partner is not a partner, an enemy. But you have a sense of hope. You have a glimmer of hope. See, that's where I'm at. And I'm going beyond it because I choose to. Number this one you have to do is you have to take bold action. Type it in the chat. Take bold action. TBA. Take bold action. You can write that down. I may have to, you know what I might do is I may have to come up with a slogan idea or a t-shirt, or maybe make it a part of my coaching program. But TBA, type it in. TBA, take bold action. If you know what to do, it's really simple. If you know what to do, go do it. Make time for it. I have been learning that truly, I really don't have to do anything. I get to do things, but I do not have to. Think about how powerful that is. You know you don't have to do the right thing, right? It's highly recommended that you do the right thing in whatever situation, circumstance, or condition you're in. It's highly recommended, but you don't have to. Just like you don't have to do wrong. You don't have to fail. You don't have to miss this moment. You don't have to. You choose to. It's really, life truly is choice driven. And once you allow yourself to believe that, you're going to be set free. Now, hopefully, you're doing the right things. Hopefully, you have the right motive and agenda. Hopefully, you want to not help yourself, your loved ones, and others. Okay? I can't speak for everybody. I can't act like everybody does that. I've lived long enough. I've observed long enough to know everybody do not have the right motives or the right heart. Okay? So I hope the people I'm talking to are those who really genuinely want to be valuable members of the community, valuable members of their family, a valuable person in a relationship, persons who want to create products and services that actually are valuable and beneficial to their customer base, to their target audiences. So if you take bold action, this can be a game changer, because see, like I said, one of the things my system is predicated on is talking to people, because I know about this. You know, for years, I didn't know that I was psychologically or subjectively, I had become stagnant because of my painful business lessons. I put in the time. I used to be in multi-level marketing, network marketing business. I was in Amway. I was in a company called Equinox, which was a water filtration system. I want to say I mentioned that before in my first video, but regardless, I was in network marketing, and I did not have the kind of success I wanted to have, or I thought I would have, as I was told. I rubbed shows. I say rub shows, but I was around millionaires, and I always had this dream. I want to take care of my family, and I want to be able not to be financially limited. And so, since I would put in the time, I put in the money, I put in the energy to learn about the business, and things did not pan out like I wanted, like I was taught. I think subconsciously that affected me to the point that I was getting in and out of against good advice from my dad. I was at times get into different business ventures that really weren't me because I was chasing that dollar. Really, I was chasing the power the dollar would give me, the freedom I was looking to get. And when it didn't pan out, when it started getting hard, I bailed and I looked for something else. I was looking for something that was easy, and it hurt me. But I didn't realize that for years. And so I fast forwarded. Probably took me, I don't know, 10, 15 years to actually realize that, over the last couple years, honestly. And I said, okay, I got to make some changes. But that's the revelation I got. In a moment of clarity, that's when I came across that idea. That's when that revelation came to me, and I decided I was going to make some changes. That's why I'm going through my transformation. Maybe you've experienced that. Maybe you have. If you know exactly what that's like, type it in the comments. Just say, Darius, I can identify. You can just leave it as simple as that. Darius, I can identify. But I want to encourage us, you and me. As long as you have air in your lungs, as long as you have the ability to think critically, we have another opportunity. So let's seize it. So, let me ask you this question. Are you hesitating when it's time to move? I did. I did a lot of hesitating. Can you identify with that? Type yes in the comments, please. Yes, I want to get you engaged. That's what I want. Listen, we are having a conversation. So I want you to get engaged. Yes, I know what it's like to hesitate. Now, one of the other problems I used to have a lot, big time, was overthinking. Overthinking kills opportunity. It acts swiftly. We need to learn to act swiftly when the moment presents itself. Sometimes we get bogged down in what's the word? It's a phrase that says it'll come back to me. Maybe I'll talk about it in the next video if I don't come up with it in this video. But basically, overthinking kills opportunity. It's there we go. The paralysis of analysis. That's what it's called. I believe it's in business. I believe it is. The analysis of paralysis. You're analyzing stuff so much. The paralysis of analysis, excuse me. You analyzing so much it paralyzes any positive action you would take, and you stay stagnant. You stay where you are. If not, you walk back from it. Don't do that to yourself. The paralysis of analysis. Don't do that to yourself. If you have, that's what hurt. So we have to stop doing that if we want to move forward. Let's use a 5-second rule in order to beat hesitation. You can, again, treat it like a game. This can also help with you being more decisive. Take 5 seconds to really critically think and make a decision, yes or no. In this case, you need to. Your option is yes or no, but within 5 seconds, make a decision. Stop hesitating. Time is precious, right? People used to say time is money. No, time is more valuable than money. I was offered opportunity. Let me share this with y'all real quick. A few years ago, I was looking for another job, transitioning. And my mom, one morning, had called me and told me, hey, Darius, go and put an application over at this place. I heard her. I listened to her. But I wasn't motivated. I'll just admit that to y'all. I wasn't motivated. And anyway, I think, and I went back to doing whatever. I said, yes, ma'am. And I went back to doing whatever I was doing at the time. And then I get a phone call from my dad. And he says, hey, Darius, how you doing, et cetera? Have you gone to put the application where your mom told you to? I said, no, sir, not yet. I'm doing this, that. He says, Darius, you need to go and act. Go and do and put that in. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then I got up and I did what he said to do. Long story short, let me say it this way. Long story short, timing mattered. And I got had a successful interview. Got called. We set all it up. Went to the interview process and all that. And I got hired. But I almost missed my moment. That was talk about, you learn a lot about yourself when you look back. Some people say hindsight is 2020. When you look back, you wonder, how could I think like that, or what led to me thinking and feeling and being that way and taking and delaying making right decisions. So anyway, take action, y'all. I can't say that enough. That's that move right there. That's coupled with preparation, coupled with expectation. There's some other things I can add to this, but we'll talk about some more of that in other videos. But you expect things to work out, your entire life is going to change. I'm telling you, because kind attracts kind, like after like, or some people like to really call it cause and effect. So here's another action step for you. You ready? Type I'm ready. If you're ready, type I'm ready. All right? Okay. Next time you feel hesitation, do the countdown to 5 immediately. Now, I count down to 5. Just practice it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Give yourself grace. You made a decision within that time frame. No more hesitation. I'm going to get up and get that laundry done. I'm going to get up and I'm going to cook, or I'm going to clean up the house, or whatever it is. Get up and do it. We are powerful beings. We are creatures of, we should be creatures of positive action. We got to get up and make things happen. Positive activity. Let's get the thing done so that we don't let yesterday's mess become today's problem. And then today's problem become next week's overwhelming issue. Now you're stressed. Now you're cussing and fussing people out, for those of you who do that. And you're not having a good day. You're not having a good week. Then you take it to work. Then you take it to your business. Then you're going to make the kids mad. You're going to kick the pet. You're going to make the dog mad. And, all of this stuff compounds. It all matters. Again, it doesn't matter what you use this for, what the issue might be. If you apply these principles, it'll change your life. So let's go and go to point number 4. Reflect and learn from every moment. How many moments? Type it in the chat. Reflect and learn from what? Every moment. Now, I know some people are going to think, man, this takes entirely too much thinking. No, I would say this is really what's been costing many of us. There are a small percentage of people who actually take time to really, really think. Will you join them today? Will you become a person who actually thinks through his or her way through life rather than just being a victim of it? Choice is yours. Choice is mine. At every major moment, ask yourself this. What did I do right? What could I do better? Learning from past moments prepares you for the bigger ones ahead. I know some people like to think that life randomly happens. No, you just don't see the connection all the time because you're not aware of the connection. Oh, look at that word again, awareness. You're not aware. So practicing thinking and asking the right questions causes you to become even more creative and more solution oriented, and cause you to begin to connect certain dots. I'm not saying you can connect every single one, but especially towards about your decision making, you would change everything. Learning from past moments prepares you for the bigger ones ahead. If you don't learn from the past, you're definitely doomed to repeat it. So learn from the past. Turn your past painful, dreadful, and tragic moments into masterpieces. Now, listen, let me say this real quick. I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. So the principles I live by, what I'm talking about, are based on the Bible. So if you don't like God, love God, the God that I serve, I'm talking about, then this video, this channel is not for you. And that's not a problem for me. I wish you well. You go do what you feel like you need to do. As you know, I'm not sitting here preaching at you neither. We're just having a conversation. Last year, again, I learned this principle. Reframe the past. Reframe the past. Go ahead and type that into the comments as well. I know I've given y'all a lot of homework on. No, we have been engaging with one another because I see this not just as a monologue. Even though it's a monologue, because I'm not receiving this is really a teachable moment and everything. I appreciate your engagement because that lets me know I'm talking about things that matter to you. Okay? Last year I learned to reframe the past. You know how that made me feel? Powerful. Because now I can look back at my past, and instead of seeing it as painful and a problem to me, I look at making it work for me. It's no longer a stumbling block. It's a stepping stone. Here's another action step for you as we get ready to conclude. Keep a journal. You can call it a moment journal or whatever you want to call it. But keep a journal and start logging in your wins and your lessons. Notice I didn't say wins and losses. I said wins and lessons. Because you are going to be in your future. But it starts right in the present moment, right? Why not chronicle your successes and your lessons so it can help you and others? You have a story to tell. That's all I'm doing. My goal is to help people feel better about themselves, to learn lessons from their past that helped them succeed in the present, and help build and create a bigger and brighter future. I want to help people move from procrastination to positive productivity. I want to help inspire people and motivate people. And I'm using what was once painful to me as hopefully a pleasure for you. I want to finish this way. Number one, remember awareness. Pay attention. Open your eyes. Open your ears. Ask the right questions so you can get the right answers. Prepare. Don't hope and pray that things are going to line up. No. Be an active participant in your life story. And lastly, take bold action. TBA. Type that in the comments, please. TBA. Take bold action. Be confident. The more you do it, the more powerful you'll be, the more successful you'll be. And if you make some mistakes along the way, reframe them as lessons and keep going forward. Don't fall back 20 steps. Keep going forward. Now, your next big moment is closer than you think. So my question to you is, and I want you to answer this question for yourself, is are you ready? Do you believe that there's another big moment coming and it's closer than you think? And are you ready? Now, if you're ready to maximize every moment, please subscribe, like, continue to comment, share this video, and share this channel with some other people that you know who would benefit from this content. Listen, Jesus loves you, so do I. Remember to maximize the moment. I'll see you next time.